It's that
It's insanity.
What do you think of child support?
And that's another interesting thing, because a lot of these arguments, it goes beyond man and woman, and it goes into the larger sphere as a whole, right? Because we talked earlier about war and how a lot of men used to die, and that doesn't happen anymore. So what you used to have in societies, and I'm not saying I have all the answers, I'm just commenting, right? What you used to have in societies is a bunch of men would die at war, because men have more dangerous lives than women. There'd be a bunch more women than men. The top Gs would impregnate a bunch of women, and the top Gs could take care of the women, and that'd be et cetera, et cetera. That's now changed, right? So a lot of the reason that monogamy is pushed is because it's good for society. And it is good for society. It's good for society as a whole to have a man, a woman, a family. They're together. The man provides for the woman, et cetera. The government doesn't want to pay for all these kids. If you don't have child support, who's paying for these kids? The government does it. It breaks down, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why child support is enforced in many parts of the world. In certain other parts of the world, child support isn't enforced because they have religious beliefs or genuine family beliefs that keep the families together. But in the Western world, now you need child support because you've broken things down to the point where men don't want to be married to chicks. Chicks don't want to listen to the man. The man can't even be the man in his own household. He can't even feel respected where he goes. His woman gives him no status. And now he doesn't want to fucking deal with her anymore. So how do you get that kid paid for? Well, then tell the man, or you go to jail. And you just come along with the fucking long arm of the law and you fuck him. And so, yeah, it's difficult. It's hard to answer. Yeah, but it's hard to answer. The true answer to all of it is an idealistic answer. I don't like to think idealistically and talk idealistically, but it's the truth. The true answer to it is to instill in the man a sense of duty in which he wants to take care of his woman regardless, because that's his child. But you will do that. I'll tell you how you do that. You do that by inspiring out of the man by being a very good woman. So I'll give you an example. If I had a child with a woman, and she was always a great woman to me. She never cheated on me. She was a good woman to me. And I was running around being whatever. And she's like, look, I just can't put up with you anymore. You're top G. You're going to do what you're going to do. I'm going to look after your kid. You can see him anytime you want. I care about you. Please don't leave me in poverty. I'd say, cool. 100%. I'm not a fucking dickhead.
Can I
cool,
say
that's a real man, though, because I was in a situation but I was just in a situation like that, to where it's like hearts don't break even, and that's the reality too. It's like if those morals and principles are not instilled in a man, none of that shit matters. So obviously the child support stuff obviously hits close home to me, because I'm already $50,000 just in lawyer fees trying to get him to provide. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it sucks because it's like, you play in the NBA, like why don't you want to do more? And it's just because, again, of the relationship. It's personal. It's not about our son.
Personal. That's right.
So it's like, if you're not.
So I just feel like it's like, why do you get money for making a poor choice?
Well, it wasn't a poor choice because it took two.
I'm not trying to like disrespect you in any way. It's just like, if you left. And
no.
So it's like, why do you get money for it? It just doesn't make sense.
Because we made a commitment. At the end of the day, we made a commitment. We have a forever commitment. Fuck marriage. We are forever family. So again, as someone who is literally going through this, if I made more money than him, I would be paying him child support, and that would be fair to me.
But this is what's really interesting. What's truly interesting is if you go to other countries, and I'm talking about civilized countries, right? If you go to Poland or Czech Republic or whatever, these countries, which are in many metrics more civilized than the West, they're safer to live in, they're cleaner, etc. There's no child support laws. So if you have a divorce, the man just takes care of the woman because that's his kid and that's just what he's supposed to do, and that's just it. So what you're saying is, you're right about the man having the morality instilled inside of them. And my point is that the reason a lot of this doesn't exist, the reason men don't have morality installed in them, is not just about the individual case of the man. It's about society as a whole. It's about women as a whole, men as a whole, the dating game as a whole, the life he's living as a whole. And this is the world we live in. This is why I was talking about how dangerous new think is, because now we have this new think, this new world, and we're living in this new world. And the truth is, as a man, now the game has changed. In the game of chess, sometimes it's not about winning. It's about making sure you don't lose. If you can not lose, if you can not blunder any pieces and protect your king long enough, you'll win the game. And there's a lot of men who are now like, okay, how do I not lose? Well, you know what? I become fucking ruthless. That's how I don't lose. I get all my sex because the women are promiscuous. I get laid as much as I want. I don't let anyone fucking tie me into anything dumb. Any bitch wants to get fresh to me or fucking talk to another dude, I cut her off financially. And you just get ruthless so you don't lose the game. But that's because the game's been rigged against men. So the harder you rig the game against us, the more ruthless we're going to have to be to compete. And it's unfortunate. I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm just saying why men do what they do.
Can I just say with regards to Brittany, I just think that with regards to child support, you've got a kid, you look after it. Hey, and I do.
Not you, the men.
I was like, I do look after my son.
No, not you.
Okay, I was like,
no, that's why I said, no, that's what I said with regards to the child support. That's what I first said. I think that you have a kid, that you should look after it. I don't agree with men giving the women money, but I think it's disgusting that a man can have a child and not support it.
So do I. But this is another thing. So this is the comments we have to make, right? Because we don't have all the answers. We have to make the comments on it. This goes into the deeper point. Every time a court rules in favor of a chick having $100,000 a month, that puts men off to a level. Like, it's fine if there was a baseline child support, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. That's if you have a kid, baseline, regardless of income. If your man wants to give you more, he does. If he doesn't, whatever. But when you come along and start saying this % of a man's income, do you have any idea how scary that is to a man who works for his money? He works for his money. And do you know why it's scary? It's not just because he's giving his money away. It's because he knows he isn't giving money to the kid.
Yeah.
The kid, you can raise a kid on $500 a month in most of the world. You want that kid in Gucci, you in a nice car, going on dates with another dude with my money. I'd rather burn the fucking house down than to give it to you under those fucking circumstances.
Make
vouchers for child support.
I just think it incentivizes poor decisions. Like, I haven't gotten pregnant by someone, but I'm saying, but like you're gonna pay someone who's done that. Like, why did they get?
Okay, no, but I'm literally telling you that what if I made more money than him, I would have no problem paying for my child. And there's child support laws vary in different states. So in North Carolina, for instance, if you make over combined of $300,000 a year, then you are considered off the grid. So then you have to prove this is how much your rent is. Any bill that my son occupies, I get a percentage of. So on the low end, it would be 50%. If there's a big enough salary gap, it could be up to 97%. In the court, the judge gets to decide what makes the most sense. So if my child's father makes $20 million a year from basketball, he gets to decide if $6,000 is a lot, if $8,000 or $10,000, whatever. But you have to prove that. So it's not like you just it's enough money for a Chanel bag. Like, these are my son watches Peppa Pig. That's a cable bill. You know what I mean? So it's a percentage of everything. So you're not like just living it up. You're just living. I mean, so you're able to. There's a roof over your son's head.
My whole point is that, like, it's all down to choices. And
the man made a choice too, because I can't get pregnant unless he nuts in me.
I understand that, but I'm
then there's nothing to argue.
You're the one that's you're in control of who gets born. Abortion's legal.
Okay,
as soon as he nuts, it's completely out of his control.
Listen,
can I just say something though?
Wait,
just playing
Auntie,
devil's advocate, that I had my child, and we and the dad went together, and I didn't take a penny from him, and the government wanted me to, but I decided that no, that he was better off that my child, I look after him myself. Anything he wants to give his son, if he wanted to, is extra, but I worked hard and I done it all on my own because it was just less. Because it's less headache. It's less headache.
And I know a lot of women that went that route.
It's unfair though that you have to think that he's not going to be a man and take care of his child. Don't you think that's unfair on you?
No, because he's my child and he's happy, and I'll give him what he wants.
Child as well. He made that child.
That's why I don't need a man
at the whole point is you choose who you sleep with.
Listen, right, as far as
he chooses as well. That's the thing.
Yeah, like, this is two to tango. What are we talking about?
I'm saying right now it's not fair because women have abortion that's legal. It's not legal for them.
Oh,
they get no say. They get no say, and the same thing with birth control.
I could have done, but it wasn't worth my time. Why am I going to go and fight a man?
IUD, it's like 99.9%.
But what if the man wanted the child though?
That's exactly my point. So I was on birth. Let's just use me as an example.
My whole point. As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.